I welcome you all with love. It's a pretty wild world out there, and what we're beginning to see is that more and more people are beginning to catch on to the very serious contradictions in information that we're seeing. There's a lot of people I talk to that says, like, it's beyond me. There's just so much diversity and confusion and misinformation. What to do? At a deeper level, it brings me back to a time of Isaiah 5:20. That's a few thousand years ago, where he predicted a time like this. And he said, woe to those who call who call darkness light and light darkness. And he also said that to those who call evil good and good evil, and to those who call bitter sweet and sweet bitter. These are those times. Very serious spiritual confusion, ethical confusion. There's a whole lot of, I'm going to say, deliberate confusion that's going on in the world. You know, you stay indoors, and then the research comes out that people staying indoors really don't do any better than people outdoors. And actually, if you stay indoors too long, when you come out, there will be a jump because people's immune systems are down and they're not getting the benefit of the herbal immunity, of the herd immunity. It's like lots are going on. Well, what to do? Because we're caught if we aren't paying attention, okay? And if we don't act, there's a time to kind of act and really make an effort to understand and share your understandings with other people so people can begin to integrate what's going on. But the key is to understand in your sincere searching, okay, which I advise meditating on to tune into what's going on, checking with those who you feel in your spiritual kind of collective group, checking with the cosmic teachings, and actually checking with what the science actually shows. So, for example, we look at keep the 6-foot distance in 3 directions. That's 666. That's interesting. But there's more interesting to that is there really isn't any scientific evidence to support it. Okay, so that's the fourth thing. Where's the evidence? Evidence is really coming out that whether you have a shutdown or don't have a shutdown, it doesn't make a statistically significant difference. Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to make a point here that we have to look at it, we have to check in with our friends and get more and more feedback. If you have a spiritual teacher, check in with the spiritual teacher. We need to start developing a more stable frame of reference. Check with what the scientists, not just one scientist here who may have an opinion, but what's the bigger kind of picture going on? What are most scientists beginning to say about what's happening? And what's happening is doctors in particular who really care about their patients are beginning to come out with, hey, we're told you have to have we're told to balloon up the diagnosis of COVID-19. And they're saying, hey, maybe it's not quite as bad. And maybe people shouldn't be in so much fear because fear contracts. Fear takes away your ability to make clear judgments. When we step back into the truth of who we are, the spark of God that is within us, that is able to help us understand the deeper truth, it's from that place where we can develop the wisdom, not the fear, to be able to truly begin to assess what's going on and what to do. Most important, we want to build up our immune systems. That's pretty clear. But most important even than that, we need to have the inner peace so our minds can't be controlled and manipulated by fear. So we meditate. We work collectively. We actually challenge and think about it to come up with clarity. Meditation is very, very important, and that's the place where we are best able to access the deeper truth of what's going on. So with this in mind, remember Isaiah 5:20, the idea of evil be called good and good be called evil, idea of darkness be calling light, light become darkness, being called darkness, and bitter being called sweet, and sweet being called bitter. Because this is what we're facing. We don't have to buy it. We don't have to go along with the complete upside down world that some people are trying to get us to believe. Peace be with you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Mitakuasam. Just hang on for a second and we'll look a little bit into this. And as we take that spiritual energy in now, let's sit down and meditate for a little bit. Let's get in touch with the truth of who we are. And from that place of power, of spiritual power, we can move to make the right decision.